Good morning, family. What are you waiting on? What have you been asking God for that you're still kind of in the space of, okay, God, when is it going to happen? You've promised me these things, and I've been getting on my knees asking when you're going to show up. Um, God brought to my recollection this morning something that I had been asking for, and He came through, right? And then it fell off. And I was like, well, what's going on, God? What are we doing? And he's like, you tell me. So financially, I was really going through some things. And I had been calling out to God and saying, God, please help me. You said you would provide all my needs, and I got some needs. Yes, some wants are thrown in there, but I get it. Your will, your way. But the needs you said you would cover. It's what you said in your word, and I'm struggling. And he's like, right. But there's also a part that said, you have to give me what's mine. And God had been pressing me for tithing, right? And I know people have struggles with tithing. I get it, but I know I needed to tithe. This is Lisa's story. And don't forget, tithing is not just monetary. You've got to tithe your time as well. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. So I had begun tithing and trusting him with my finances. See, I was good with trusting God with my health, and I was good with trusting him with covering my family and my children. But for some reason, I felt like financially, God, I got it. I'll take care of it. And he was like, yeah, no, that's not how it works. So I started tithing, and my finances got better, right? My needs were being met, and I was able to pay my bills, and I was able to do all of the things. And then I got comfortable, and I missed tithing. I was like, well, I got something to do. Let me just, slipped my mind. And my finance was like, you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. And God had to remind me, what did I tell you to do? You're right. You're right. Now, as a parent, if I said to my daughter, we're going to the movies, but I need you to clean your room. And she says, okay. And then she comes back and says, can we go now? And I say, did you clean your room? And she says, no, am I going to take her to the movies? I am not. Because I told her to do something. Better yet, if she comes to me and she says, I didn't clean it, but I got Amari to clean it, her brother, I'd be like, that's not what I told you to do. I told you to clean it. God is often giving us instructions, right? And sometimes this thing that we're asking for won't happen because it's blocked by this thing, the instruction. God is telling us to do something, whether we agree with it, whether we understand it. He's telling us to do something for a reason. And our obedience will often bring down this wall to allow all the things to come through so we can get this thing. So I say to you now, whatever it is you've been asking God for, if you're not getting the answer, if you're still in a place of I don't understand why I'm not getting it, if it's in His will, of course, and you're kind of like, what's going on? Go back to the beginning. Did God tell you to do something that you didn't do? Did he tell you to do something and you did it in your way and not his? What if Noah didn't build the ark the way God said? God was very specific how he told Noah to build this ark. Very specific. And I've put things together where it came with some screws and stuff, and I used like 3, although there was like 7. We had 4 left over. Let's be realistic. That thing's going to break. It is. So if Noah didn't follow these instructions, what would have happened? Would water have gotten into the ark? They get compromised. Follow instructions tooth and nail. Are there some instructions that God has given to you that because it didn't feel good, because it didn't make sense, because you didn't have time, because you forgot, because it slipped your mind? Or was it, I'll do that after you do this? And God is saying, nay, nay, you need to do this so that this can happen. So I charge you today, family, if there's something you've been asking God for or not, right? Or not, just step back and go back on conversations or something that God has put on your heart or pressed on you to do, and do the things that God would have you to do. Did he put somebody on your heart to call? Did he ask you to give somebody something that you're kind of holding on to because you love it so much or whatever. God has instructions for all of us. All of us. Some big, some small, some make sense, some doesn't. Some is in line, some feel good, some don't. But he has instructions for all of us. And how awesome is it that a God that can do all things by himself would call on us to do something for him? How amazing is that? It changes the way you look at being able to do something for God, for a God that can do everything himself, utilizing us to be a part of this big plan. And in the end of it, we get blessed with something that we've been asking for. Bonus. Think about it, family. Think about it. I'm sure we all sit in a space of asking God for something, but maybe he hasn't released it because there's something we haven't done. All right. So I'm going to try to stay the course of tithing my time and my money because I do not want to be back in that financial situation that I just got out of again. And I want to be obedient. When you love someone, you want to do what you know is pleasing to them. And I love him. So I want to be obedient to him. I'm going to intentionally try to be obedient every minute of every day. I cannot worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will come with its own challenges, but I'm just going to focus on today. So for today, be obedient. Figure out what it is he told you to do and do it. And do it. You know, if you get nothing tangible that you hold in your hand out of it, you know that you got to please the God that you serve. That within itself is a blessing that you can't put money on. So, fam, I thank you for the grace you extend to me. I appreciate you. God bless y'all. Stay blessed, stay encouraged, and stay intentional.